I like to be the White Ranger. White. Why would I like to be the white? Because it's neutral. I mean, it's kind of collective of all the colors if you think about it, you know? It represents, I don't know, freedom.
Bonjour à tous et bienvenue dans Tokuscope, votre émission sur la science-fiction japonaise et le tokusatsu. Comment vas-tu mon cher Fabien?
Bah écoute Jordan, ça va bien, bah écoute, bonjour à tous aussi. Nous revoici encore une fois plongés dans l'effervescence du Paris Manga là, qui bat son plein.
Et oui, 4e fois quand même que Tokuscope s'invite au Paris Manga. Mais cette fois-ci, pourquoi est-ce qu'on y est? Peux-tu nous dire quel invité on aurait éventuellement rencontré?
Alors effectivement c'est notre 4e fois ici, mais c'est la 24e édition déjà de la convention, hein, il faut quand même le mentionner. Alors ici, cette année, nous sommes venus pour accueillir les acteurs, le cast de Power Rangers Megaforce et Super Megaforce. Donc cette année, donc Paris Manga a invité pas un, pas deux, mais carrément les 5 acteurs, la team complète de ces deux saisons-là. Donc à savoir Andrew Gray qui joue le Ranger rouge, MARK LOUDERMILK qui joue le rôle du Ranger bleu, AZIM RIZK que vous avez vu l'année dernière dans le rôle du Ranger noir, CHRISTINA MASTERSON dans le rôle de la Ranger rose et CIARA HANNA dans le rôle de la Ranger jaune. Donc nous allons partir à leur rencontre là tout de suite, on va les interviewer tous les 5. Ils vont certainement nous confier leur anecdote et leurs souvenirs de tournage et comment ça marche un tournage de Power Rangers. Et puis nous on va se balader dans Paris Manga, on va voir s'il y a quelques goodies ou quelques autres invités à rencontrer. Mais en attendant on vous laisse avec le cast de Power Rangers Megaforce. C'est parti.
Your lives are about to change forever.
Must become one extraordinary team.
Go, Megaforce!
To defend our planet.
We'll protect the Earth, no matter what it takes.
From the greatest threat in the universe.
Destroying the human race will be child's play! You can scare them, but we're not afraid. Earth's defenders never surrender!
Join the next band of Power Rangers and their all-new Zords in their epic battles to defeat evil.
That's a mega win!
Power Rangers Megaforce.
You know, I think I learned Power Rangers from my friends, just being a little guy and seeing them dress up. I was really into like Spider-Man and Mortal Kombat that just came out. But I was like, you know, this is really fun. And there's so many different characters. My favorite character is green, but I really thought the Red Ranger was like the leader. So then my favorite color became red. And then all I wanted to do was become the Red Ranger. I would wear the costume for months. And my mother's like, you got to take it off. It's not red anymore. You're like the Black Ranger, you know? But I wrote down in kindergarten, when I grow up, I'm going to be the Red Power Ranger. And it happened, so I feel really good about it. I don't know. It's fun.
We both watched Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Because that was our time.
It's such a... I feel like for us, it's such a generational thing. I mean, it's such an iconic show, but it's also, I think for our age group too, it's such an iconic thing in general.
Yeah.
Superheroes and fighting crime and, well, fighting loogies, not crime. I think for both of us, it was just something we grew up watching and we idolized, and just now we get to be that.
Yeah, it's like as a kid, it's like your first experience with good versus evil.
Yes.
You know, the first time you go, oh right, they're not good because they look like this or they talk like this. You know, diverse cast, everybody's got their own color uniform. Like, they're good because they're protecting people who can't protect themselves. And even though you can't put that sentence together when you're 5 years old, you still get it.
Yeah.
And that's why the shows survive so long.
Yes.
Because they can explain that idea to a 5-year-old.
Yeah, I watched it a little bit growing up. When I auditioned for it, what I remembered was the original one, Mighty Morphin, and that's what I related it to.
I remember Mighty Morphin and In Space. I remember the theme song specifically because I remember being in my house but always hearing that theme song going on. That and the Rugrats theme song are just stuck in my head from my childhood. But I just remember and I remember watching it. And then when I got older, I'm a girl and I love Barbies and I just kind of like shied away from it. But I mean, I watched it, I knew exactly what it was. All my friends loved it, they had action figures of it. And I went back after getting the job and watched a lot of the footage just because our season's a anniversary season and we turned into all of them, so I might as well learn a little bit. So I know more now than I did then.
I was in school. I did a 2-year conservatory at the New York Film Academy, and then I graduated, and about a year later, I got the audition for Power Rangers. So right before Power Rangers, I was actually working at a restaurant, Saddle Ranch.
You worked at Saddle Ranch?
Yeah, in Universal. You know, the typical
With the bull?
LA actor thing. Yep, I was the bull operator.
I pretty much started getting into acting when I was 18 years old after high school. And I mean, it's a lot of auditions, it's a lot of no's. I did random little things like soap opera and then like little things on Nickelodeon, and I just dabbled everywhere, and it's just a lot of hustle and bustle, and you're just constantly it's still hustle. It never stops.
And it's still a lot of no's.
Yeah, it's still everything's exactly the same before Power Rangers. But Power Rangers did kind of give me that boost in confidence, yeah, which I think every actor needs. But you know, it is what it is. Yeah.
I started after high school too, and I started first by modeling and doing commercials, and then I started acting, going on acting auditions, and Power Rangers was really kind of the first big thing that I got, and it's the same as CIARA, lots of auditioning, lots of going out, and lots of no's, and you just got to keep on going.
Yeah.
We're still going.
Yeah, we're still going.
With other shows, like let's stick with shows. If you had another show, you would audition for a pilot, which is the first episode. And just because you get the pilot, it doesn't mean that that show is going to become a show that you can see on television. With Power Rangers, when you audition, you're auditioning for 2 seasons of television. So when you become a Power Ranger, you're now in it. You've got 2 seasons of work ahead of you, and you know that they're ahead of you. Whereas with a pilot,
you don't know if it's going to become season 1, season 2, season 3.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And then with a film, it kind of, I guess it depends with a film.
Yeah.
With a film, the director's the one hiring you.
Yeah, it's a process. It's just a completely different process.
But with the show, it's the producers.
Yes. Yeah.
I think.
Yes.
Yeah, so it just depends because it all works differently. You know, it takes months and months to make 2 hours of a movie. You know, it's a lot of work that goes into it. So a lot of people have to sign off on things. It's very interesting the way it all works out.
The casting sessions are pretty much like any other casting. You're going to go in there, and you're going to have a casting associate, maybe the casting director, and if you're lucky, the producer will be there. And all of them were there. The same casting directors, Iris Hampton, Joseph, a couple of people that were there that been there for the very beginning. And for me, it was one of the first experiences with that. So it was terrifying. I was nervous. I was insecure. My paper was shaking. But they were very kind in allowing us to say, don't worry about it. It's all about having fun. Know that. Just give us your best. And that kind of just like, but it took about a year. And it was very intense. I mean, not with the dialogue. They wanted you to, do the action with it. And, the whole room was just filled of hundreds of other people with red t-shirts on and a number. It felt like I was on X Factor or, you know, American Idol or something. So it was a good experience for me. It was a growing experience.
It took a while. I think me and her kind of auditioned for about 3 months. An audition every once in a while. I don't know, like maybe once a month we would go in, and then the last month we went in a few times, and we tested with a few of the Rangers that got picked for our season.
And that's a long auditioning process compared to most, like when you're auditioning for a show or anything, it's within maybe like a month, if that, or a couple weeks. This literally was months and months and months, and like a lot of us probably forgot about it and didn't like, oh, I didn't get the job, and then they would call us back. It just was a long process, but they want to you have to look good together, so they put you in different like versions of each other, and then you have to act together, like a screen test, and show if you're physically able to move at least. It's a long process, and every Power Ranger will tell you the same experience, except maybe I think the originals have a little bit of different experience, but yeah.
There's a couple memories. I mean, I think we all have different memories. For the casting wise, like I only auditioned for I think a month. You know, some of them auditioned for a year, or went to different, you know, auditions. So for me, it was really short and really fast. Fast meaning not really fast, but
no, but like
but it was quicker
expedite.
than exactly. The funny part about my experience is that the day of our audition, our last one at least, was my birthday. So, it was pretty crazy. But just being in the room, seeing different people, meeting different people. Like, I met AZIM, I think one of the first or second audition. We just went outside. We had talked and just met, and then all of a sudden we're on the show together. It was really...
Because I had curly hair and he had curly hair, and we were both like light-skinned brown.
Yeah.
And we both looked at each other and we were like... Yeah,
Let's
right.
talk.
Like,
Let's
it's not
talk.
going to be both of us.
No, we should talk. Who's it going to be? So it was just weird, like, you know, and then we met Drew in the audition room, outside the audition room. He was telling a joke, and of course, like, to everyone. So just, that's Drew. All right, he's going to be red. So it was just, it's really funny looking back now, having all these little small moments.
Alex Hartman and myself were roommates. We were living together, and you find out about an audition through your agent. So, you know, your agent, he emails you or she emails you, and then you either go or you don't. And then when you go, you either get a call back or you don't. Well, Alex and I both kept moving up, and it got to the point where they wanted to do a test deal, which is where they offer you a contract, and you have to sign it, and then you go do the final thing. Sweet. I didn't go past that stage, but Alex did. And then we just sort of forgot about it for like a couple weeks. And then one day he came home and he goes, hey man, I gotta pack all my stuff up. Why? Because I'm going to New Zealand, because I'm shooting Power Rangers. What? What color are you? Red. What? How'd that happen? He's like, yeah, I got 2 weeks. Do you want my TV? Yeah. Perfect. Can I have your silverware too? Sweet. Yeah, have it. Yeah, great. So I got. When Alex got Power Rangers, I was the real winner. I got silverware and a television.
He didn't win.
He didn't win. He just got a television.
Yeah. He just got a show.
Yeah.
With my character, you know, I really wanted to come on set with ideas so that I had freedom to expand what Power Rangers really meant to me, to the audience. And it was a hard battle, because Power Rangers has a theme, and Power Rangers is stylized acting, right? So after understanding how the process worked and how they want this business to be shaped, I didn't conform to it completely. I did on the outside, but on the inside I was like, I'm going to have a character that's boiling with curiosity, boiling with intention, that's just going to add value to the brand by not being exactly the same. Kind of putting it more here than just always here, you know? Because I feel like we really need to think before we react to everything. And that's what Troy was about. Taking it all in, observing it, and then let's go. If we need to go, we'll go.
Emma, she's a sweet girl. She's really caring, cares about other people, about their feelings, wants to kind of make everybody happy and find them their best self. She loves nature, and she loves conserving nature and protecting it, protecting her friends and animals and plants. Kind of all that stuff. She's
all the
a
good
girl.
stuff, yeah. I mean, your last name is
Goodall.
Yeah.
So, Goodall.
Gia, she's a little different than Emma. We're like PB and J in that kind of way. She's a tough girl, doesn't let anyone mess with her. She's kind of...
Protect your friends, too.
Yes, she's very protective over the people she cares about. She progressed. In the second season, she softened up a lot, actually smiled, which is nice. And I think that's a lot to do with creating bigger, like stronger bonds with like Emma and Jake and the whole team in general. I think she just became a softer person, which, I don't know, she's a lot tougher than I am. I'm a little more like, but she is I aspire to be more like Gia. Let me tell you that.
I aspire to be more like Emma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we know what? We like to be called Gemma. Hashtag Gemma for life.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a celebrity name we made together. Gemma. Yeah.
I do care about nature, and I do.
And you're into photography and all that?
Yeah, I am. I'm not really great on a bicycle. Like, she's a pro BMXer.
But you did learn, though.
I had to learn when I got the role. But yeah, I do care about nature. I do care about my friends and people in general, not just my friends, just humanity. So I could relate to her very, very much on those subjects.
I'm like G in a way where I kind of have a...
You like leather.
I love leather. I wore leather today. I wear black boots all the time. She has a tough exterior, but she has a lot of softness in her, but she likes to keep up this wall, and I kind of have that in my life where people think something else, but I have a lot going on inside. So I relate to her on that end, and I do have I like to, I guess just the front. I like to have a front, and I like to protect people, and when I care about you, I'm going to have your back no matter what. Yeah. Plus, I like leather.
We actually had to learn a lot about each other's qualities.
Yes, we did. Switching places and being best friends on the show.
Yeah.
Mimicking each other.
We had to do an episode where we go into each other's bodies. So he got real in touch with his like strut.
Seam.
And I got real in touch with my comb over.
Yep.
Which
and
you
glasses
don't
wearing.
have.
Nope, at all.
No, it was fun though. We had a blast. I mean, the whole experience started with 2 weeks of training.
Yes. And physicality work, stunt training. Myself, my character, Noah is the nerd of the group. He's the smart one. He's a builder, an inventor, computer animator. Just want to keep rhyming. No, Noah's great. I mean, he at first he doesn't really believe in himself, and then he has to find some spark within inside of him to help his friends out, and he does. And then he has the help of his best friend Jake, who pulls it out of him. And he couldn't do it without Jake or the rest of his team.
I mean, they're a beautiful platonic couple because they're the right and left brain, you know, and they help each other out. Jake believes in himself even when he shouldn't. Noah doesn't believe in himself even when he should. And I think we all see a little bit of ourselves in both of them because we both have, you know, both sides of our brain. We both wake up some days and are like, no, I'm not doing this today.
Not today.
And then some days you wake up and you're like, yeah, I can climb Everest. I'm gonna go do that. And you know, it's a show, so we like to see characters that polarize that so we can experience it. And these two connect because they give each other that.
Yeah.
I think both of our characters, Emma and Gia, were very strong, independent, female.
Losing words. We were very independent, very strong, and I feel like we didn't have to depend on the men for anything. Like whenever there was an opportunity. If someone needed to step forward, we were more than willing to step forward and take action and things. And I think that's
and we've also like stuck to what our core beliefs were. We had different core beliefs, but we stuck to it, and we fought for the better. We fought for good, and I think they couldn't have done it without us.
And I feel like, I don't know if like all of Power Rangers like this, or maybe just our season, but I feel like there wasn't a single person that was more dominant than the other. We were pretty much evenly everywhere. There wasn't like, you didn't look just at the Red Ranger. I feel like you looked at all of us, and I think that's a good influence on just the world now. Is it doesn't matter if you're male or female, we're all kind of in it together, and
we all kind of need each other to help. It's not, you know, one person. It's all of us. We're stronger as a team.
I hope people get that from us.
There really wasn't any fear to be the leader, just very simply because as a person myself, I don't really have that much fear. It doesn't motivate me. I'm a self-motivated person. So for Troy, he's a self-motivated person, and he's like, if you want to follow me, you can follow me. But either way, we're going to be going there together. You know, we're going to be going there together. I'm not here to boss anybody around or point a finger. We're in this together. But if you want to join, let's do it. More the merrier. Power in numbers. You know.
They did give us a copy of each of those shows, of all the episodes. So we were able to watch that at our leisure, and I didn't watch every single one, but I did watch a few of them just to get the general idea of what they did.
Like we literally took two separate things, having two separate characters, and we were having to mold them into one. So we had to watch the progression between like Megaforce and the Japanese version to like, if anything changed. Like I know Azim, our Black Ranger, hated it because he went from like cool guy to goofy, and he had to change that in his real character outside the suit. Same when John got more confident with everything. So my character stayed the same, so I didn't have to really worry about that. She just was kind of cool. She does more peace signs than Gia does, and then it was cool in the other one too. But it was interesting to see the difference. I like the Japanese version of our Super Megaforce.
As soon as we got there, they gave us a stack of DVDs with the dubbed version, and me and Azim actually were like, guys, we should sit down and watch this, because we wanted to get a backstory, and then we threw that out the window because, you know, it's completely different, you know, trying to get a backstory from a character that's completely different from yours. But we did watch it. We sat down in our living room and watched it probably every night, and then for Super Megaforce, we got this on the smart TV, and for the Super Megaforce, we got the Sentai version, but it wasn't dubbed, so we made our own dubbing over the course of episodes.
I forgot about that. I totally forgot about that.
So
on the smart TV.
On the smart TV. So we did watch them, and we enjoyed them, and then we kind of brought some characteristics of the Sentai character to our character. I don't think Azim brought any of what is it?
It was
GOKAIGER.
tough.
That is hard.
They're completely different. The Black Ranger from GOSEIGER and the Green Ranger from GOKAIGER, they're
completely different world.
Of course, like John and Azim was saying before, I'm here right now, is that they did have us watch a lot of the DVDs. And we watched them all. We had a great time watching them all. It was like a sleepover slumber party. But I've been into anime for a long time. I grew up obsessed with Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Kai, etc. So I'd be always watching Gun Wing, Thundercats, stuff like that, and then bam, GOKAIGER and Sentai. So yeah, I think they're great. You know, I think those shows are more geared for the audience. 100% more for the audience. There's more character development and storytelling and backstories, again, for the audience, to have a lifelong, everlasting fandom for it, that you really root for these characters. And I don't believe that that's 100% translated to the American series. You know, I believe the American series represents some great core values and morals, like camaraderie, teamwork, makes the dream work, that kind of stuff that together we can overcome. But I feel like there's so many areas that it lacks. You know, there's not as much of a balance in the American as there is in the Japanese version. You know what I mean? It's more just always super positive, which is great. But if we learn how to transform negative energy that's transmitted, it creates a balance. And I believe the Japanese version actually did a little bit better. They're not trying to just sell merchandise. They're trying to tell you what the story is and how it happened.
Watching them, it was helpful for us, but we didn't really use a lot of stuff from it. It was just helpful to know where we're coming from and how to use it in the show.
Yeah, and you can see like when somebody's gotten beat up and when they haven't.
Yeah.
And
The scenario that's
a lot of times you're on the day that you're shooting, you don't know who you're supposed to be reacting to, but you're saying something like, "Wow, you look like you stink," and you don't know why
you're saying that
at all. So you watch the footage and then it works out.
Well, I kind of created my character without watching the Japanese version on purpose, so I didn't want to
copy or get too heavily influenced.
Exactly.
by
I
it.
wanted to be my own thing, but also appreciate what they've done with it. So I didn't watch anything until after I created who Gia was. And then I watched it and saw, like, okay, this is what I need to do. But I like what they did with it, and I think all the characters are really cool. I like in the GOKAIGER that they were like thieves almost. They kind of went and stole these keys, and it's like a whole nother element, which is super cool. We weren't as...
Their spaceship, I'm not their spaceship, but their boat, their pirate ship was really cool.
Yeah.
I like all the inside. They did a lot of interior shots, and we didn't really get that.
When we first got the job, we went out to New Zealand and we trained with the Japanese stuntman. They pretty much matched us up with who was going to be our stunt person and learned everything. They pretty much were learning our movements as well, so
because they were so good.
They're so good.
Yeah. So, and we're not that good, so they kind of had to probably dumb it down a little bit.
They did.
To match us.
And it was hard. I thought I was very physically fit. I was like, oh no, I'm pretty active. Like, I'm
It was
so
hard.
great. It was one of the hardest experiences.
But that was the most fun, too, for me at least. So just to learn something different, learn something new, and to push myself.
Yeah, they pushed us a lot.
It was really cool. And we wanted to do more civilian fights. We wanted to do more fight sequences.
Our best days were on the fight, like doing our civilian fights. Like those were the most fun for us.
It was really fun. Yeah.
But I think they respect the show and we respect them, and I think there was a mutual respect, and that's why they were cool with everything. And I mean, it's their job; they're professionals. But yeah, I loved Masa. All right, yeah, we love
really
them.
love them.
We're having little moments.
We bonded really well with them, and they're a great part in making this show.
We worked hand in hand, 100% hand in hand. They wanted us to learn not just the choreography, but the overall life, the overall life. And it was great to see them act, even when they were in our suits, do the body language. And that helped me understand just more about life in general, watching them work. Because it's not always about the dialogue, right, and what we're saying. It's about our actions and our reactions, and watching them go through that. You could literally watch the stunties, right, do the whole show of Power Rangers with no dialogue, and you know exactly what's going on. It was a big growing thing. Yeah, it's nice.
So the Japanese crew is Alpha Stunts. Alpha Stunts, greatest stunt crew ever, right up there with 8711. They rock. And our relationship with them was very strong because we got those 2 weeks in the beginning to train with them and get to know them. Because once you get on set, it can get very quick. Stuff has to happen fast. So we had 2 weeks with them to just everybody get to know each other. Oh, is this correct? Where do I block? How do I do this? And they were super helpful. But they were the ones who made everything look good. We did action. So we did like fighting stuff. But they were the ones who did all the stunts in the helmets.
In the helmet. Pyrotechnics.
Blind most of the time because you fog up the mask. And pyro.
Flips.
At one point they tied Satoshi to a pole, and they just threw him around the pole. And told him morph.
Do it.
And he did it. At one point, Akihiro had to do a double kick and then land flat on his back on the concrete. You remember that?
Yeah.
No pads. No pads. That's just a man and his spine hitting the ground. And they rock. They rocked it all. These guys they're daredevils,
They're crazy. They're crazy.
Yeah. You had
Ume.
Umi was like this, like, Umi's crazy.
6'3", crazy.
6'3",
crazy guy.
Wall flips, crazy kicks. No, they were amazing.
Yeah.
Exhausting. I don't know. Just exhausting. It was exhausting, but the best time of your life at the same time. From start to finish, you wake up in the morning at 4:45 a.m. and someone comes to pick you up, and you don't go home until about 8 or 9 p.m. And there were days where I'd wake up in the morning, you know, like hurting from the day before. Just there was times I was in neck braces, getting kicked in the neck. That you would take it off, action, you know, put it back on. So there were hard days, but at the end of it, I would say, what's worse? Not being able to waking up at 4:45 in the morning to do nothing, or waking up to go to set to shoot your childhood dream, right? So it was just a wonderful experience, but it was exhausting.
Every day was a new experience for us. I feel like you never walked on set and it's like monotony. You know, it's just the same day over and over again. It was always different. Like, he's grumpy one morning, I'm grumpy the next morning, they're grumpy one morning. It was just the whole entire 8 months that we were there was beautiful. It was actually a wonderful experience. I mean, on set specifically, for me, I looked at being on set as kind of like a grad school.
Yeah.
Because I was learning all sorts of new things. I was asking crew questions, asking too many questions. But it was, you know, specific days. I feel like one day that kind of sticks out to me is in Super Megaforce when Orion crashes and sent down, and then he lands on the beach. They told us we had to run through the water on the beach, but not get wet.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how do you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. In khakis. I don't think so. So we start running,
detail.
and we did probably 4 takes, and the 5th take they were like, one more time. And so me and Azim were like, okay,
let's do it.
just bolt.
Yeah.
So we start bolting, and we're soaking wet, just sloshing everywhere, and that was a great day.
And getting chased by a drone.
Yes, at the same time.
So if you ever heard a drone, this was an octo chapter.
Yeah.
So
they use drones. Yeah, they use
so that there's a shot in the Super Megaforce opener. Yeah, the run. And this thing is like chasing you right above your head.
Yeah.
So by about take 3, we actually felt like we were running for our lives.
Yeah, a little bit, because it's loud and it's, you know, it's the eight pilot drone, so it's fast.
Sounds
too.
like Christian Bale's in his Batmobile coming to
right
get you.
behind you.
I'm here. You're going down.
So that experience of that day was insane.
Yeah.
I love watching Super Megaforce, and I love shooting Super Megaforce, mainly because our chemistry was tighter, you know, our relationships were deeper, and we were really starting to have fun. And I think that happens with any and every season. The first season's pretty good. Second season's always better. Third, fourth just keeps getting better and better. Just like Breaking Bad and all the really, you know, cool shows that, you know, happened in the past that were so iconic. And that's one thing I kind of wish Saban would do differently, is that they would allow, let's say, 4 seasons. Could you imagine what it would be like on the 4th season? It would be astronomically amazing, and you wouldn't have to cut little things. So to answer this even more in depth, Megaforce was great because for all of us, we grew up knowing what the show was, and then when they called cut the first day, we're like, wow, what a big accomplishment, not only personally, but then, you know, for Rangers in general, the 20th anniversary. But going into the 2nd season, there was just so much fun stuff. So many cameos, so many new actors coming in, like the 25th that's about to happen. It needed more time. But I feel like in 22 minutes they did the best they could, you know, to put it in. I like Super Megaforce.
I mean, when we changed costumes, we were really sad to let go of the Megaforce costume because, I don't know, it was our first costume. We grew attached to it. It was so simple.
You're bonded with it.
And iconic. But then we fell in love with
We look
being
really
pirates.
cool in Super Megaforce.
So We fell in love with Super Megaforce eventually.
But like the stakes were higher in Super Megaforce, so there's a lot more intense scenes, I feel like. And we were all really more relaxed when we filmed the second season, so I think it was just a lot more fun for us. Plus we had our 6th Ranger Cameron, who just kind of fit in like our last puzzle piece, so he just kind of added to Super Megaforce for us, and I think it was just more fun. We were just more comfortable.
Yeah. It's different.
Brand new episodes of Power Rangers Super Megaforce.
Soon you will be powerless to stop me!
When Earth faces its greatest danger.
This is bad. It's like Armageddon.
And old enemies come back for more.
You have no idea what you're up against.
The Power Rangers will try to save the future by unlocking the past.
Tap into the special powers of all the Rangers that preceded you.
Power Rangers Super Megaforce. The brand new episodes begin Saturday, August 30th at 12. Only on Nick.
Hi guys, we just wanted to say we love you and we're thinking about you, and we hope that you're enjoying this beautiful Saturday.
And keep strong, keep going, keep working hard, and good things will come to you if you... It's an energy thing. It'll come to you if you try your hardest. I said that all really weird.
Follow your dreams?
Follow your dreams. As an actor, you have to, if you're going to do anything, you got to keep going if you actually believe in it, because if you just quit, then you never know what you could have done.
Blue Ranger and Black Ranger here. We really, really hope that all of you watch Power Rangers and realize that we were teenagers doing all of that. It doesn't matter what age you are. If you believe in yourself, you can do anything. Take it from us.
Yeah.
I had to believe in myself a little less. He had to believe in himself a little more. And we both were able to achieve exactly what we wanted to achieve.
That's right.
Go, go, Blue Ranger. Woo!
Do I have a message for the fans? Any message indeed? Live your life. It's your life. Never give up on your dream. Never sell your dream, because after that, what do you have left? Time is the most valuable commodity that's out there. It's the one thing you can't buy or ever buy back. And if you're going to do anything, go all in. You have nothing to lose and all to gain, all right? So my name is Andrew Gray, Troy, from Power Rangers Megaforce and Super Megaforce, and it's time to morph, all right, guys? Go, go, Megaforce! Enjoy.
It's morphin' time! Go, go, Megaforce! Yeah!
I forgot the yeah.
Okay.
All right, get ready, girls. This one's for you. Ready?
Ready,
And
go.
Go, go, Megaforce!
Notre émission Tokuscope Paris Manga Power Rangers se termine, donc encore un grand moment visiblement, puisqu'on a eu le casting de Megaforce, de Sub Megaforce et Super Megaforce au grand complet en interview. Donc qu'est-ce que tu retiens de cette rencontre, de ces rencontres?
Bah écoute, ils étaient tous les 5 très sympathiques, une jolie équipe. Bon, je ne suis pas forcément le fan numéro 1 du show, mais ce qui est intéressant, c'est de voir que chacun garde une perception très personnelle de cette expérience de tournage. On voit qu'il y a des amitiés qui sont fermées, puisqu'il y a toujours cette connivence, cette complicité, ce partage.
Oui, oui, tout à fait, hein. Ça se voit hein, même dans les échanges qu'ils ont entre eux, en dehors même des interviews, hein, quand ils sont vraiment entre eux, ça se voit qu'il y a une certaine relation et de complicité qui se crée. Hein.
Oui, oui, tout à fait, effectivement en backstage, c'est toujours ensemble. Ouais, on sent qu'il y a un avant et un après cette expérience de tournage. Ils sont tous très talentueux, très sympas, et j'espère que ça va bien se poursuivre pour eux, quoi. Voilà.
Donc voilà, on vous laisse comme ça avec ces quelques images comme ça qui restent du Paris Manga. Donc on se dit la prochaine fois en Belgique. Donc en tout cas, prenez soin de vous et transmutez-vous.
Earth's defenders never surrender!
Go, go, Power Rangers!